I'm gonna be really obvious here for a second and say that roller coasters go up and down. And for a while now, I've been using this analogy of roller coasters to describe the unpredictability of life. One second you're up, the next one you're down, and it's just sort of all over the place all the time. Today was gonna be the day that I was going to finally break free from sitting here to make this video, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna go outside and just do it. Not overthink it or anything like that, and just do it. And of course, today, of all days, it starts raining because, yeah, it never rains. Like, it didn't rain for like the last 3 weeks, and then today, of course, it starts raining and it prevents me from going outside and doing this. So, this is what we got today. I've had a stressful last few weeks and I've had a little bit of anxiety lately. And this analogy is making me think about it in terms of the roller coaster. And it reminded me of something I hadn't thought about in a little while that I think applies really well to this situation. I have this really nice memory of visiting Universal Studios with my family when I was a kid. And while my mom was absolutely terrified of anything that went faster than the teacups, my dad would usually go on all the roller coasters with me and my siblings. As we got a little older, my dad's position towards roller coasters started to change a bit. There was a number of years that we just didn't really go to any theme parks. And by the time we went back to one, things had changed quite a bit. We were standing in line to go on a roller coaster in Kings Dominion in Virginia. I was pretty excited, but my dad wasn't being his usual joyful self, you know, always making jokes and being really silly and stuff like that. He just wasn't doing anything like that. He just looked a little withdrawn. When we got to the front of the line, his shyness had turned to visible anxiety. "Are you okay?" I asked, and he simply said, "Yeah, it's just been a while." We got on the ride and he started getting really pale, and as we started that typical slow crawl to the top of the roller coaster, he was having a mild panic attack. He kept repeating, "I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this," and I just kept saying, "Dad, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, this is perfectly safe, you're gonna be okay." That poor man was so miserable during the 90 seconds the ride lasted. I'd never seen someone hold on that tight to anything. I could feel the tension in his body as if every muscle was about to pop. I even got really worried for a moment that he might have a heart attack or something. We finally got off the ride and he was fine. He was obviously a little shaken up. Luckily, nothing happened to him. It's very interesting to me to think that two people in the very same situation can have vastly different experiences. I really enjoyed roller coasters, but my dad on that particular day was just so miserable. Roller coasters are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be an enjoyable experience. And it's interesting to think that we get to decide whether we're going to enjoy them or not. You could be like I was, relaxed and enjoying the experience, or we could be like my dad on that particular ride where he was so tense and it made the whole experience so miserable for him. But it was the same thing. We were on the same roller coaster sitting right next to each other. And I think there are a lot of experiences in life that elicit a very similar reaction. We're nervous about it for some reason. There's something about it that just makes us really nervous, and our instinct is to just tense up and hold on to dear life, wishing the whole time that it would end. But the problem is that if we're in that position, if we're in that mental state, it makes the whole thing miserable, regardless of how you look at it. There's no way to enjoy something when you're that tense. Of course, we can always choose not to participate and just kind of watch from the sidelines. And that would ease the anxiety a lot of the time. But then at the same time, you'd also be missing out on something that could be amazing and thrilling and just really fun. By the way, I'm basically making this video for myself so I can come back and watch it later on, because that tends to happen to me. Interestingly, it doesn't happen to me on roller coasters, but it does happen to me in regular life all the time, where there might be something that I'm anxious about or an unpredictable situation in my life, and my instinct is to tense up and hold on for dear life and just kind of wish that the whole thing was over. But it also prevents me a lot of the times from just going with the flow of the ups and downs and the unpredictability of life. So I'm basically making this video for myself so I can come back and watch it, because I'm definitely going to need it. Because if this experience with my dad taught me anything, is that if you can't relax, you can't enjoy the ride. Sometime after that, we went back to another theme park, and The whole ride over, my dad and I had a conversation about how worrisome it was that he was so tense and that something might happen to him. But he was determined to try again. He really wanted to try again because he remembered how much he enjoyed the experience, but also being able to share that with me and with my siblings. And so we kept telling him that he just needed to relax, like that feeling, that tense feeling that he had in his stomach. He just had to let go of that, not try to control anything. And interestingly enough, he did. And boy, did he enjoy that ride. I mean, he like hands raised and everything. He's enjoyed them again ever since. He just had to learn, and that's the difficult part because I have no idea how to make that happen in other areas of life. But I want to think about it in those terms. Whenever I'm feeling tense or feeling really anxious about something, if I can figure out a way to just ease up the tension, it'll make the experience so much more enjoyable. Just like my dad is enjoying his roller coasters again.